When it comes to aerial videography, there's a huge difference between simply capturing what's in front of the camera and actually getting those intentional cinematic shots. That's why in this video, I'm sharing 10 tips for getting cinematic drone shots. Before we get started, be mindful of any local flight restrictions, FAA regulations, and the airspace you're wanting to fly in before ever lifting a drone. This is extremely important so we can all continue to enjoy these devices by following the rules. To start out, we can take cues from traditional filmmaking techniques and bring them into the air with us. Practice cinematic movements such as reveal shots, orbiting shots, top-down shots, parallaxing shots, and much more. Using these techniques will make for much more interesting shots than simply flying straight, but use them intentionally when the story calls for it. Next, be sure to use neutral density filters. These act as sunglasses for your drone's camera, and they allow you to lower the shutter speed to maintain the 180-degree shutter rule. That's the rule which suggests that your shutter speed should always be double your frame rate. Without ND filters, you're forced to crank the shutter speed super high to expose the image. Here's what it looks like without an ND filter with a fast shutter speed. And here's what it looks like with an ND filter and a 180-degree shutter speed equivalent. Pay close attention to the motion blur in frame. The difference may seem minor and you'll notice it more when flying low, but in my opinion, it is often what sets apart cinematic footage. Use manual settings. This one will take practice in understanding your drone's camera and how to properly expose it. Keeping your settings in manual will prevent the drone from automatically compensating for exposure, which looks really obvious to viewers and takes them out of the story. So taking the settings into your own hand and exposing for your own vision will provide the best results. Be sure to film in good light. Typically this is during golden hour, whether it be during sunrise or sunset. Lighting is just as important in the air as it is on the ground. Overcast conditions can also provide for some dramatic and moody shots, but that depends on the context of your story. Film at 24 FPS. This is pretty much the gold standard when it comes to traditional cinema, so in order to best emulate that, you should set your frame rate to 24 FPS. Stabilization. Most drones now have gimbals attached to them, many of which are 3-axis, although this can vary. You'll definitely need a drone with a gimbal on it for smooth footage. In combination with that, post-stabilization such as Warp Stabilizer and Adobe Premiere can be a great addition to footage that needs to be smoothed out just a little bit more. Jib Crane Shots. We are fortunate to have drones nowadays because we can achieve similar shots to what jib cranes can get. These shots are lower in altitude and a bit closer to our subject. These types of shots also do a great job at merging footage from the ground and aerial footage because they fill the gap between the two. Next, experiment with reverse clips. Some shots are simply too difficult to acquire while flying backwards, so you can film it moving forward and then reverse it in post-production. You should watch for any telltale signs that give away the effect, like a car moving backwards in frame. These shots do a great job of revealing things in frame as you move backwards. Film in flat profiles. For the most dynamic range and tonal range from your drone's camera, take advantage of the flat profiles. I'm filming in D-Log on my DJI Air 2S, and you'll have to do more color correcting, but it provides a lot more versatility in achieving your artistic vision. Use cinematic modes, whether it be tripod mode, cinematic mode, or simply changing your drone settings to be a little less reactive. These options will all result in smoother footage. Also, for more technical shots, you'll be able to have more control over your drone with the option to speed up the footage in post. A quick bonus tip, be sure to follow through on each of your shots. By that I mean hold on to it for at least 6 to 10 seconds. Nothing's worse than when you're editing a video and find a great shot, but it cuts out after just a couple of seconds. So be patient and follow through on your shots. I hope you enjoyed these tips and feel better equipped to get some cinematic drone shots. If you have any questions or any additional tips for getting cinematic drone shots, be sure to drop them in the comment section down below. My name is Matt, and thanks for watching.